So, something to share that hit me while I'm out here. We talked a lot, or have shared a lot about the soul, which is mind, emotion, will, and a lot about spirit, which is, of course, our spiritual oneness organ with God. And one thing that I haven't really talked much about is the body, which the Lord is actually starting to work on me more with that. And because He's starting to show me there's a lot to my being as a man, specifically as a man, to be using this body, using it as it's designed to use, which is not being passive and lazy. And that doesn't mean, so what I've got burdened with, what I got the download on just a little bit ago, is that it doesn't mean you have to work out all the time, you have to do this, you have to, eat perfectly, basically be a bodybuilder, right? Like what we think of when we think of in our humanity mind, we think of bodybuilding and being in super shape and, looking like homies that are on the movies or whatnot. And then we also, at least I do, okay, I'll be the first to admit, I look at my own body through the lens, through the suspected lens of my wife, meaning that, am I attractive to her? Does my body make her hot? You know what I'm saying? Come on. And so, but it isn't that. That isn't it. That's not what the calling from a spiritual experience is of the body. So the body, our body, kind of dawned on me, it's about getting yourself connected in the creation of God so God can speak to you. And I hope that you're starting to feel a little bit of the same revelation. Is like, wow, duh, right? So simple. So in other words, you have to bring your body into God's environment, just like we have to bring our spirit and connect with Him spiritually. We have to bring our mind into His environment through our spirit. Same thing with our emotions and definitely our will. Same thing with your body. So what I've been appreciating is God speaks. I actually listened for once in my life, and He's like, build some places for yourself so that you can come out and spend more time with me as your Father. Come on, dude. It's that simple and that perfect and that sweet and that wonderful and just that lovely, honestly. So I listened, I did that, and since I've done that, like, you can check it out, like I got this, just this little platform deal, right? Like my other platforms, built right here, so I can see the sunset over this field next to this huge, beautiful, almighty, freaking awesome tree. And what happens is the body connection to God is getting here with Him and just shutting your face and getting your body here and breathing. So you use your body to connect with our Father. Now I'm sure that we all have seen that at some point in our life, or it's pretty obvious, but I think that it is just a nice reminder about how simple and awesome that is. Because what happens is once my body's here and I stop and I breathe and I just look at the sun, I look at those those freaking weeds and grass, flowers, beaming from the sunlight, seeing bugs fly around, birds swooping in, eating the bugs. I just saw a deer that whistled at me, didn't even see him. Who knows how long we were sitting there right next to each other. I have no idea. So all that's going on, and then He can speak to me not because my mind's clear, it's partly not because of just meditation, but guess what? It is because I'm out of the world. God's creation, nature, that is not the world. No. Sometimes we like to blend the two, the world and the earth, together. It's not the world. The world is the fallen society, culture, mankind, nastiness, the atmosphere in the sea where the demons are hanging out. It's true. You know, so thank you, Father, for this wonderful day. Thank you, Father, for your fields of hay. That's the cheesy poem for you today. Ooh, still busting out my rhymes. But Father, thank you. See, even if you hear the cars in the background, it's okay. I told a brother the other day, I'm like, bro, you know, he's sitting here talking all about life and, I mean, alcohol and drugs and, you know, all this stuff. And man, I know this. I've been in those struggles. I have. When I was young man. But he's talking about that and about just, you know, marital stuff and whatnot. And you know, all I could hear the Lord saying to me to speak to this brother is, man, you got to build you some spots to become one with him. That's all I said the entire time. I said it probably about 10 times, no doubt, for real. And I mean, he was crashing down on me with all these things that are going on in his life, his health and all this other stuff. And the only thing that I could speak was, you need to build you a place to get one with your Father. Because brother, I did it, and I'm telling you, it is the most beautiful, wonderful blessing in my life. Is just being one with him. And it's nothing weird. It's the most normal, natural, perfect thing that you could ever experience in your life. But you know, the reality is we just spend so much time away from him. Excuse me if you can hear that. I mean, it's just this simple, you know. Built my little path. Check this out. There's another fallen down tree which represents death and life and nature from our Godhead, allowed by him. So there is purpose and reason for it. It's a fact of life. Strength, life, power, stability. You know, got more life, variety, complexity, organic. My wife would like that if she ever heard this, heard this video. I use organic a lot. I used to tell her my love for her was organic. It still is. There's a lot of power in that, but you know, you got to kind of make sure that your love is always pointed to him. Nothing else before them. Nothing else before him. Especially not your wife. I did that. Yeah. I put my wife before God. Not meaning in obedience, but just in love. So, bad mistake. Why? Because he wants to make his home in your heart. And we're sitting here trying to make our home in someone else's heart, or make someone else their home in my heart. No, no way. He does not like that. And that's just the truth, man. If I can zoom in here. Yeah, it's gonna be a cool shot. So anyway, brothers, I tell you, the body, its desire, its natural home, its root, its first love, its house, its everything is out here with the Lord. Nasty houses. But it's alright, man. I mean, you don't need much. That's what the Lord showed me. You really don't need much. So anyway, peace, brothers. The body's used to connect with him in oneness in his home. In his, well, actually his home's in your heart, but in oneness in his creation.